Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy StumpD back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're diving into GARP's challenge, Revolutionary Army 1, with a new meta captain guide to complete all color Chopper Man missions over on Extra Island. Now, if you guys are new to the game and you haven't done your GARP's challenges, there's some 10-star events that you can find on the GARP's challenge tab over on Extra Island, and in today's video we're going to be focusing on the captains that work best against Revolutionary Army 1. Now, there are a plethora of teams that can get this particular event done. The idea is you want to build a monocolor team and dive in to complete your Chopper Man missions to get your stuff like gems, limit break materials, and other great rewards for your accounts. Like I said, in today's video, we are focusing on the captains, so you guys can replace any of the subs that you guys see on the teams. I have tried to keep all of the teams very free-to-play friendly, very accessible, no supports, and no crazy gimmicks, because we are focusing on how well the captains take down this particular piece of content. If you guys want to keep up with the series, make sure to hit the bell notification. If you're new to the channel, hit that big red subscribe button. If this video helps you out, or if you're just enjoying the content, make sure to hit that like button as well. Before we dive into the runs, when it comes to Revolutionary Army 1, there's two big things you want to get around. There's bind on two separate stages, so you want to either bring a captain that can completely remove bind, or two units that can actually get around that, or even a unit that has a very good cooldown and can actually come back in time. Another thing you want to get around is defense up, either setting it to 0 or completely removing it. There are a lot of characters in the game that can do that, and like I said, I will touch on some subs for each particular run that we see in today's video. Like I said, we're focusing on the captains. Hopefully it helps you guys out. With that said, let's dive into the new captain meta guide for all colors against Revolutionary Army 1. Starting off with strength, we have a combination of Luffy Yamato and Rush Kaido. So that was the team. There are no supports, but feel free to use some. Let's dive on in. Now, with Revolutionary Army 1, just like Heavenly Demon 1, there is no normal attacks only. This means that you guys are welcome to bring a character that does end of turn damage to help you clear each individual stage very nicely. Now, you guys might see me tapping through this content, but feel free to just do your best at the same time and just let Kaido sort of end of turn damage do the rest. On stage 2, you need some defense up removal, and the defense up removal we have for this team is Usohachi. He is attainable in the rare recruit tickets that you get for your Chopper Man missions as a newer player, so a lot of people should have been able to pick him up. For the bind removal, we have Luffy and Yamato. They completely remove bind as a captain. It works so damn nicely because on stage 3, Robin will bind your captain. So as you can see there, very easy stuff. We just completely get around that, and now it works quite nicely. As for the rest of the characters on the team here, I have the lead performers and the Kazuna Orochi. Both of these units trigger Kaido's rush ability and his super EX. You can easily replace them with any other units that trigger that, just so you get access to another special, but it's not overly essential. The lead performers, they're a fantastic unit, but I do understand that a lot of these treasure map characters, people probably won't have maxed out, or if you're coming to the game and you miss that particular piece of content, you are going to struggle to have the materials to get them maxed. So don't stress if you don't have them. There's a lot of other really good rare recruits or even other legends that you guys can use, stuff like Who's Who, units like the Super Tandem Kaido batch, they all work exceptionally well under this Kaido as well. As you guys will see, we're basically just utilizing any specials that you guys want, as this team, or this combination of captains, gets around the big debuff that is bind. Bind is the big focal point for Revolutionary Army 1. And honestly, Revolutionary Army 1 is probably one of the easier fights when it comes to these 10-star GARP's challenge events. Getting rid of the defense up with Usohachi works very, very nicely. And the rest of the team sort of is just boosted units that can help you guys get some extra damage. Against Karasu and Morley, you are going to want to bring some block orb manipulation. I believe we'll use the Kid, the Treasure Map Kid unit to do this. Well, at least I thought Treasure Map Kid was going to do this. Turns out he doesn't. But at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal, because we had a bunch of Wano orbs from Kaido. Kaido's end of turn damage as well, like I said. It does so much that you can easily kill for this particular stage. I believe I used the Kaido special here, so that way I can just sort of guarantee a kill. And then you can sort of just tap through those block orbs nice and easy there. So that works quite nicely. I accidentally... I spoon tapped with Yamato. I really should have hit with Yamato against oh, actually, no, Yamato's not boosted, so like that's funny. On the final stage against Sabo and Koala, these guys will do a 50% HP cut, and they actually give you a burn mechanic. Units that auto-trigger on damage work nicely here, or apply something like Kaido, giving the extra additional, or the additional damage taken, thanks to his captain ability, which works quite well. I don't even use the Orochi special this entire run, so that just goes to show you guys that you do have a little bit of leeway with utilizing other specials. And it works quite nicely there. Now, once you do kill Sabo Koala, just be mindful of that burn. Luffy Yamato do give a recovery orbs, though, so that does help you out as well. But then they do revive with a little bit of HP left, so you do want to make sure that you don't take too much damage from that burn. So that was strength. Rush Kaido makes this type of stuff very, very easy. We can move on to Dex now, where Prime Beard actually shows his worth. Once again, we're using a Luffy Yamato captain. That way we can actually get around that bind once again. They work exceptionally well, but you can also use something like Ace Yamato as another option if you guys are struggling to find Luffy Yamato friend captains. Remember, this is a 2023 meta guide, so I did want to try and include some of the newer characters. So that's why I did really want to sort of focus on a character like Luffy Yamato. Now, there are, like I said, there are a plethora of teams to take this content down, but I just wanted to put together a video for you guys, so like a one-stop shop for you guys to actually get all of these done if you guys are a newer player with some captains that work exceptionally well. As you can see on this team, we have a bunch of free-to-play options to get around all the shenanigans. Once again, Luffy and Yamato, they are so good because they just remove the binds, and then to get around the defense up on this team, we have the Kazuna Roger. Roger's great because he actually triggers the Prime Beard super type, but any of the Whitebeard batch, I believe there's a Whitebeard, a Marco that came out alongside Whitebeard that you guys might have access to. He actually removes defense up as well, so that works quite nicely. We are using Treasure Map Shanks to rotate the bomb orbs on the Robin stage. You can use any other orb rotator as long as it rotates orbs. I would highly recommend bringing that type of character, because the idea is to just give yourself matching orbs, so that way Prime Beard can actually just kill the units in the back, and then you can just do a bunch of damage to that front unit. Once again, V1 Kaido also works exceptionally well, but everyone uses V1 Kaido for this particular piece of content, and like I said, we are focusing on some newer characters and some more meta characters within 2023. So, with the end of turn damage of Prime Beard being Dex, you can leave quick characters alive, because the quick characters are basically going to take double damage from stuff like Prime Beard's end of turn damage. So as you can see, though, you can easily kill if you do swap units, but the end of turn damage will do a lot of damage. So focus on characters that either aren't quick, so then the end of turn damage will finish them off. And if you do see characters that are strength, you do want to try and put a few shots into them, so that way you can actually make sure that you actually get the kill there. So that's something to note as well. On to Morley and Bello Betty. I believe we removed the barrier with the 5+ Odin. This is not essential to do. It was just a luxury of this team. And that's why I haven't included it on the wanted poster. Because the two big things that you really want to get around for this content is the bind and the defense up. Everything else sort of tends to work itself out when it comes to running the content. Because characters nowadays are they're just so damn powerful that you can do some really, really cool stuff just with like block orbs and bomb orbs, and not really removing that sort of stuff, or just tapping through them and then letting the end of turn damage of Prime Beard do its thing. So that works quite nicely. On the the Karasu and Lindbergh stage, we use the double special activation of Shanks again. Remember, you have 2 turns here, so don't stress if you don't kill on the first turn, because the end of turn damage of Prime Beard will definitely kill Karasu, and then you can focus on something like Lindbergh over time. Literally just with a bunch of matching orbs and some tap timing from Shanks, we had enough damage to kill there, which is kind of nuts. On the final stage, against Sabo Koala with this team, we are just going to use our Luffy Yamato special once again. They actually become a striker in their dual form, so Whitebeard actually buffs them. But as you guys will see here, just by utilizing everyone's specials, we basically do so much damage to poor old Sabo Koala that they're already down to half HP before we even give them a chance to actually do anything. We can hit some perfects here as well, if you'd like to, because you can use the recovery orbs to heal back up. And then on the revive, you can easily just tap the end of turn damage of Whitebeard. Does a lot of work there and can easily kill Sabo Koala. So Prime Beard showing his worth. Moving on to Quick now, where the combination of Akainu and King works so damn well. Normally with these types of runs, we do want to try and primarily focus on captains that boost colors rather than characters that boost classes. Now, King has the ability to not only boost Driven Powerhouse, but also boost Quick, so that works quite nicely. But Akainu, he only boosts Driven and Powerhouse. The synergy here works very, very nicely, but Akainu as a captain for these types of events is so valuable because taking damage becomes a luxury rather than a punishment, because you can apply a burn that goes through full immunity. We're utilizing the PvP Blackbeard once again. You can pick him up from the PvP shop for a bunch of tickets, but you can easily bring anyone else there that will remove defense up. Something like Don Krieg and Jin will also work exceptionally well. Even if they're not Powerhouse, even if they're not Driven, they should work very, very nicely. For the Robin stage to get around Bind on this team, we have the Rare Recruit Hody. Rare Recruit Hody is an attack booster as well, which means that way you can auto-trigger the King special. King has an auto-trigger mechanic in his captain ability that allows you to auto-trigger his special twice as long as you use an attack booster. It's a very, very powerful ability, and it works exceptionally well for these short runs because it allows you to get 2 extra specials very, very easily and very, very nicely. The other bind removal on this team we have is Gukimaru. The Colosseum Gukimaru unit can actually remove bind as well, but again, easily replaceable with any other quick unit that can remove bind. Ideally, you want them to be Powerhouse or Driven, and that's going to work quite nicely as well. As you guys can see there, we got the auto trigger of King, and when King is in his Zoan form, he actually does end of turn damage as well. Remember, there are no normal attacks only on this content. End of turn damage works exceptionally well, and you can actually get a lot of free stages and avoid a lot of annoying debuffs because of that particular ability. Moving on to Morley and Bello Betty, you get the carryover ability of King. We're going to use the King special now, so that way we can continuously trigger that, and we can just keep making our way through the content. Remember, you have a bunch of options with supports. You can use stuff like Smoker support for this team. It's another great way of getting an attack boost. You can use other supports that trigger on damage dealing and other shenanigans. But like I said at the start of the video, I just really wanted to focus on the captains here and how these captains help you guys take down this particular event. On the second last stage of Lindbergh and Karasu for this stage, we are using Gukimaru. Gukimaru is going to remove the bind, and then we have the Zoro and Sanji unit that can actually rotate our orbs into recovery. They also give us a chain boundary, so that works exceptionally well with the chain boost that King is providing, and then we can also get the conditional boost from Akainu. Now, the reason that this works so well here is Akainu gives you 4 turns of a conditional boost against a burn mechanic. Akainu's captain ability applies a burn when you actually take damage. Moving into the final stage against Sabo Koala, they do a 50% HP cut, so this applies the burn straight away, and because you have the carryover of the conditional boost, Akainu and his special literally just take care of this entire stage because you still have 2 turns of everything. On top of that, when Sabo Koala revive, the burn literally just kills them, and it works so damn nicely. The quick run for this is so smooth, it's so easy, and it works very, very well. However, like I stated in the Heavenly Demon 1 runs, Sai is going to be by far the easiest for a majority of players because you have access to some ridiculously strong captains, and 2 of them being Gear 5 6-star or Momonosuke, one of the newer legends that came out for the Gear 5 celebration. Now, either of these units will work as either a captain or a friend captain. If you don't have either of them, do not stress. As long as you can find one of them, you are going to be in a really good spot because both of them can remove bind with their captain ability. If you guys are struggling for your own captain, you should have access to the free-to-play 5+ Luffy. He's a fantastic option if you guys do not have either of these characters. The big reason for that is he can remove Despair, he can remove Paralysis, which is great for Dofi 1, but for this particular fight, you can just hybrid him up with anyone that can remove the bind, whether it's Momo or whether it's Gear 5. Ideally, you want to find a Gear 5 friend captain. Gear 5 is just so ridiculously strong for this type of content when he gets cooldowns. And because you have access to all of the free-to-play Straw Hats, you can just put together a team that works so nicely, as long as you bring someone that can remove defense up. And for this team, we have Zoro. The free-to-play Zoro can remove 5 turns of defense up as long as you have a Luffy on the team. So as long as you bring Luffy as your captain or as your friend captain, you are basically going to get that ability. He also gives you orb boosting, which is nice. And then Momo's end of turn damage can kind of carry you through the rest. And on top of Gear 5 just being an absolute powerhouse, you have access to the Super EX as well. So you can go through stuff like barriers. You can give yourself a 3 times attack and orb boost. 3 times attack boost when you have Psi Orbs. You get a 3 times orb boost and a 3 times color affinity boost. You can just do so much with that one particular unit. Frankie's another character that can remove defense up. He's a free-to-play Straw Hat as well. He also gives you color affinity for 3 turns. And like I said, all of these free-to-play Straw Hats as a new player work so nicely for majority of content that has come and gone over the past couple of years. And content like this that's been out for a very long time is now no longer super scary because you have access to some of these crazy-ass units. Remember, I'm not using any supports. I'm using very accessible or free-to-play subs, and I'm basically no-stalling every single one of these, just very simply by tapping, using end-of-turn damage, and utilizing captains that get around the annoying debuffs that majority of the content will struggle for. Now, ideally, you want to save the super type of Momo for this stage, but utilizing Gear 5 here works exceptionally well, because Gear 5 is going to give you a color affinity buff. I was meant to use the EX first, but look, at the end of the day, you'll see how much damage this particular character has, even without having access to his full special ability, because he's just a monster. Like, he's an absolute monster. On the final stage now, we have access to Zoro once again, so he can use his orb boosting ability. Momo has end of turn damage, which is awesome, and he's our attack booster for the team as well. He completely removes bind. He turns it into an extra attack boost, which is super nice as well. And this stage is just completely free, especially with the rush ability of Luffy. You don't even have to worry about the burn, because you just have so much damage here that it's very, very easy, simple run. Like I said, Sai is definitely going to be the one that a lot of people don't struggle with, provided you can find a captain that works exceptionally well for the units that you are bringing on the team. But that 5+ Luffy, he's still an absolute demon as well. He's a very, very good unit, and he's going to help you out drastically for the start of the game. Finally, we have Int, and Int has seemed to be the trickiest when it comes to this particular content. We are running Big Mom once again, just like Heavenly Demon 1, because her end of turn damage is so valuable. But we also have Yamato. Now, Yamato is probably a little more of an exclusive character that a lot of people won't have their hands on. But if you have Big Mom, you can just ask a friend to put up their Yamato for you, just to take it down, as she can actually remove blind. With the combination of these two, you're basically covered for everything. You just need to bring someone that removes the defense up, and for that, we have the Arena Mihawk. If you guys haven't done Arena Mihawk, you can easily replace Arena Mihawk with any unit that removes defense up. Very simply, you just need 3 turns of it. It's very easy to get around. Is it 3 turns or is it 2 turns? It might actually be 2 turns. It's on this stage here against Kuma. It is 2 turns of defense up. You can use supports for this. Like, if you have the Perispero support, you can use that on Big Mom, whether you're using Big Mom as your captain or if you're running this free-to-play Big Mom that I have down below. The Big Mom I just put there, she's a free-to-play character. I know a lot of people won't have the 5+ of these units because Kazuna Insignias are so scarce, but getting this Big Mom done is great for long-term content because she does turn up for endgame stuff like Grand Voyage and stuff like that. So I did want to include her just to sort of highlight that for you newer players, that she is definitely a character that I would prioritize from the Kazuna shop, so that way you guys can actually get ready for that endgame stuff. As you guys saw there, the end of turn damage of Big Mom just wipes that stage. I still saves 3 Semler slots on my left-hand column, and that works out quite nicely. Carrot's another unit that can also remove defense up, so if you're looking for a character that's a bit easier to farm, the Clash Carrot is a great option. She has a Sailor ability too that gives herself 3 turns of cooldown every time another Int character uses a special. So whenever you're utilizing these specials, Carrot's actually getting cooldowns back. Unfortunately, she did get blown away. On this stage, you do get blown away on your middle row. It's a random blow away, but don't stress. It's one of those abilities that we just don't have to worry about because of end of turn damage. It allows us just to bink stages and move on to the move on nicely without having to worry about that captain being blown away. But remember, you have like 2 turns. I'm doing everything in 1 turn, but like if you guys don't, it's going to be okay. Just keep tapping your way through because you don't have to run this content super fast. You only need to beat it once, and then you just get the rewards that way. Morley and Bello Betty, we're going to take out with the Big Mom special. The idea here is just to get those orbs back. We should have used the Yamato super type there, so that way we could have locked those orbs. That definitely would have been a really, really good option, but also we can use her special, the Yamato special that is, to actually rotate the block orbs on this stage against Lindbergh and Karasu anyway, and then we can lock them. But look, either or, it works quite nicely. I think actually doing it this way was probably a little bit smarter. So shout out to Playtime Stump, not voiceover stuff, voiceover Stump. We're gonna have Big Bum special for the final stage as well. As you guys can see, like these teams, because the captains are so powerful, are so strong that you can just save specials. Once upon a time, you had to use multiple specials in a turn. We had to stall back for specials just so we had damage output. But nowadays, like with end of turn damage and really, really strong, powerful captains, we can just sort of use our normal taps to actually get through. So that's going to wrap up the meta guide for the captains of 2023 against Revolutionary Army 1 over on the 10-star GARPS Challenge event. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to go down there, belt the like button for me, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, though, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Let's!
嘘でしょ